Alright, let's get started. So this is the Alucard All Bosses speedrun tutorial. Starting out, I just want to go over like a few general mechanics as well as just kind of talk about what this tutorial is going to be for. So this is for the Alucard All Bosses speedrun. This is going to be a comprehensive tutorial on how to maneuver through the castle as well as how to perform all the different tricks and glitches that you need to do throughout the run. And yeah, starting out, I just want to go over some of the stuff that I'll be talking about for pretty much the majority of the run when it comes to maneuvering and moving through the castle. So just Alucard's general mechanics. You can see my input at the right below me right here. I will also have like my mouse pointer showing off visual cues and stuff like that. But to begin, Alucard, you can move around, you can walk left and right and all that stuff. You can jump. As soon as you get Leapstone, you can double jump. Once you acquire gravity boots, you can do gravity jumps, which is performed by pressing down and then up and then jump. If you are in the air and have expended your double jump, or if you have untransformed, you're able to do diagonal gravity jumps, and that's really important. That's going to be used a lot for movement. So as long as you basically have access to a dive kick, whether it be through untransforming or through double jumping, you can do diagonal gravity jumps. You could also do them from the ground, doing a specific input by pressing down up and then down left or down right. And then you could do grounded gravity jumps. Hold up, I'm messing this up. There we go, something like that. We don't really do too much of those in the run, but it's just important to know. More things to note, if you press either triangle or Y, depending on what version you're using, you perform a backdash. This can be canceled by pulling up the shield or by using various items, and you can chain those back to back to do what's known as shield dashing. This is like your fastest ground movement as Alucard. And the easiest way to perform it is to just roll your thumb from B to Y. If you're playing on Xbox, it'd be square or circle and triangle for PlayStation. And you just do that over and over again. It doesn't need to be ridiculously fast because, as it turns out, the faster you mash this, you don't really save much more time at all. What's more important is that you just have a consistent rhythm and that you don't get stutters. Stutters can happen if you release the shield button. You just stop all momentum. So you want to have shield pressed down pretty much the entire time until you press the backdash button again. So even something like this is much faster than this, or like going really fast but like having a bunch of stutters in it. Moving on from here, the backdash is also important for maintaining momentum. You can transform into the bat once you have the bat transformation ability after a backdash, and that's known as bat dashing. So if you ever hear me say to bat dash in a certain situation, that's what this is going to look like. You just backdash and then immediately press R1 or right bumper to transform. You could also preserve your momentum into bat using a dive kick. This is known as a dive bat. This is useful for just gaining a bunch of momentum while transforming into bat. Same thing could happen with diagonal gravity jumps. You can transform into bat and have some horizontal momentum while doing so. And I think that's a lot of the basics down. Some other small stuff that you can do are front slides. This is done by double jumping and then dive kicking into a direction, and then you let go of your diagonal input. So you go to a neutral state. You can see on the controller, like right there, that I'm pressing down left to start the dive kick, and then I'm letting go immediately. This is useful if you want to climb up, like let's say I want to move from this part of the level up to here. I can have some horizontal momentum while doing so by performing a front slide. So some advanced movement techniques. And yeah, and that's it for the basic movement stuff. From here, I'm just going to go and move on to actual gameplay. So starting out, you don't use any name input codes, no luck mode, no axe armor, anything like that. Those are reserved for like sad categories and not like the main categories that are tracked on the leaderboards. And starting out, what you're going to want to do is skip this cutscene if you're playing on PlayStation. If you're playing on Xbox, this cutscene doesn't exist. So all you have to do is just skip that cutscene. wait for the loading to end, and you're going to start off. There's a couple different ways you can do this movement. You could either, if you're not comfortable moving around as Richter, is start dashing by double tapping left and then jump up these stairs. It's a little bit faster than just running. When you're running up a slope as Richter, you're a little bit slower than if you were jumping up it. Or the alternative is, if you're more comfortable moving around as Richter, you do a slide kick, cancel the slide kick into an uppercut, and then do some blade dashes over to the left, and that's what this is what that's going to look like. It's kind of important to pick up the cross as Richter. If you're not able to do it, it's not the end of the world. Like, the run is still completable, but it's important to get it for later on in the run, because a lot of what you do as Richter in this prologue is going to matter for the rest of the run. So once you get to this part, it's important that you uppercut into this next room here. The ceiling isn't like really there, so the visual cue that I use is, if you're doing it from the ground, is just have Richter stand in this shadow here, and then just do an uppercut while holding right. That's going to allow you to pick up that heart there. That's important because you want to get more than 40 hearts before fighting Dracula. So if you were doing the prologue as fast as possible, this is what it's going to look like. There we go. So that's the fast way to collect 41 hearts. I also have the cross in my inventory. It's important to throw a bunch of your holy water off to the side of the screen, exactly 6. Recollect the cross, and then collect the holy water again, so that way you can do a Hydro Storm. Do another Hydro Storm, throw your holy water on the ground. You can do blade dashes to kill him quickly if he doesn't die to damage stacks. And it's important to end with 0 hearts, so that way you can start the Alucard part off with a heart refresh. Collecting the 41 hearts allows you to start with a neutron bomb, which is going to be important for a skip coming up, and collecting the cross gives you an extra 5 MP as opposed to not collecting the cross. So ending with the cross is important if you want that extra 5 MP. I'm going to explain now the damage stack glitch a little bit. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is cast Hydro Storm by pressing either triangle or Y, depending on what version of the game you're playing. And you just throw holy waters on the ground as fast as possible afterwards. It's random whether you actually get a damage stack or not, so I'm going to try and show off a damage stack real quick. If you're playing on PlayStation, it's going to lag a little bit, so it's going to be kind of hard to tell. I got kind of like a baby damage stack there. If I get a good one, you'll see Dracula's health just kind of melt. That was a decent one, and I got a second one there, yep. Normally, 2 Hydro Storms with that, or that Hydro Storm doesn't do that much damage by itself, but throwing the holy water down causes it to do more damage than it should normally, and it's kind of random whether you get it or not, so yeah, that's pretty much all you do. So once you defeat Dracula, you just have to skip a cutscene that pops up right here, and then you move on to playing as Alucard. Once you start playing as Alucard, you start the game with some really good gear, and it'd be really nice to keep it. So we're going to do a glitch coming up so we can keep all of our gear to skip death. Moving forward, you can just shield dash through this area. It's important that you kill all the wargs in this area, and coming up here you want to count 3 zombies. The easiest way to do that is to just walk through that room and kill the zombies as they spawn. You should kill exactly 3, and once you kill the 3rd one, you can just move forward, just shield dash through the end of the room. Coming up here, you want to kill these first 2 wargs, and then once you get to the second one, all you have to do is jump over it as it attacks. Wait for it to start growling again, and you want to break this brick here. This is important to set up the death skip. So next we're going to equip that neutron bomb that you had equipped earlier. And we're going to perform the death skip by pressing left, and then soon after pressing left, you're going to open the map. It's going to look something like that. This is a frame that will work. There's 2 frames that work. What I do is I look for the way that Alucard's foot is positioned. There's like a light pixel right here that if that's showing, that means I probably got the trick. And if it's showing while also being close to this vertical line, then I know that it works. I think I got the same frame again. Yeah, this is what it looks like if you went too far. Alucard's foot starts to make like this little angle here, and that's how you know it didn't work. And if you're too soon, Alucard's foot doesn't like fully turn around. I think this is 1 frame too far, where Alucard's foot is starting to make an angle there, and it's like aligned with the line right down here, so that one doesn't work. I'll post resources for this trick because this trick has like tons of tutorials on it already, so that will be in the description of this video. But all that's important is that you perform death skip. During the level up animation, all you have to do is let go of every button except hold the backdash button. Then from here, you walk along this edge for like however long, it doesn't really matter. As long as you press right to a certain degree and walk along it for at least 1 frame, it'll work. And then while you're holding right, you just hold jump and then keep walking until you exit the room. And that skips the death cutscene. And this is what the trick looks like when you put it all together. You break the brick, equip the neutron bomb. You do the setup. And just like that, you skip death. From here, you can re-equip your Alucard sword. And then just move on forward. A lot of this movement is pretty self-explanatory. It's just general platforming stuff. You want to kill a lot of the enemies that appear in front of you. I'll link to the experience route stuff that Talek has gone through, because it's important that you kill a specific number of enemies. During this like little walkthrough I'm doing right here of the clock rush, I'll kill all of the enemies that are required for the experience route. So for the most part, it's set up where you just kill everything that's in your way. Oops. And there's some variation depending on how you kill Sagar and Gaibon, because how you kill Sagar and Gaibon changes the amount of experience that you have. So really important that you don't get poisoned by that spittlebone over there, because that's going to slow you down. This Axe Knight you can kill, but you don't kill the second one here. Don't kill this spittlebone. And then just make your way up to Sagar and Gaibon. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to jump slash them when they're together, and then just kind of slash at them a couple more times, and they're going to die pretty quickly. There's a chance that you can kill them both on the same frame, and I will show you what that looks like. So you'll know if you've got the Sagar and Gaibon double kill, because there's those 2 diamonds that showed up, the 2 blue diamonds. They show up on the same frame and they look identical. That means you killed them on the same frame. And if you kill them on the same frame, the amount of experience that you get is different than as if you kill them on different frames. It just happens to be that the level and experience scaling works differently. So as you level up, you gain different experience for killing monsters. So if you level up off of one of them, like Slagra, and then you kill Gaibon afterwards, the amount of experience you get will be less. So it just changes where you get level ups and how the level ups work throughout the run. And that's going to be important, because what you want to do is get the double kill, because it allows for some level ups to be skipped in the clock rush. So if you're struggling with getting a sub 8 clock rush, that will help. The reason this is important is because the level ups, they have a little animation that takes a little over 3 seconds. So if you're able to stack level ups together, what you can end up doing is actually saving yourself a lot of time by skipping those animations. Here I'm going to pick up the potion. just because it allows for one of the skips that we're going to do later to be a little bit more consistent. And then you can just move on from there. It costs a little bit of time, but I think it's important to show off like a consistent method to the trick that I'm going to be doing later, because it's kind of random whether you get it or not, and the potion helps it be less random. So moving forward, you just kill a lot of the enemies that are in your way. You want to kill both of these flea men as they appear. You kind of want to just like start slashing before you start their AI, and you'll most likely be fine. Here you just skip the Maria cutscene, let her walk past you, and then you keep moving forward. We're going to be coming back to this room later. But yeah, kill that next flea man and keep moving forward. Oops. I gotta level up a little early because I killed an extra Axe Knight, but whatever. Coming here, this candle right here is really important. You want to break this candle open and collect the stopwatch. That stopwatch is going to be used in the next boss fight coming up. But yeah, you just continue to kill everything in your way. Kill these Diplos by slashing them twice. You're going to be killing everything in this hallway. Random item drops don't really matter too much, so unless you get a meal ticket. What the fuck, dude? Are you kidding me? Bro. No way! Of course. Anyways, moving forward. Imagine I got a second one, that'd be really funny. The only difference in which enemies you kill if you didn't get the Sugar and Gaibon double kill is in this room you would kill both blue Axe Knights if you didn't get the double kill. Since on this little run through I did, I'm just going to kill the first one and then jump over the second one. That's the only major difference. You will be getting level ups in different places, but as far as what you kill and how you move through the clock rush, it's pretty much exactly the same. Here, just backdash into this fight, and as Doppelganger's loading in, what I like to do is I like to hold up and towards him, and then I just mash X and B, so it makes sure that I use the clock, the stopwatch, as soon as possible, and then I just slash him. You want to stop him as soon as possible so he doesn't like accidentally kill you or something like that, or you don't want to run into him either, because then that ruins the amount of experience that you get from him due to a weird glitch. So while he's frozen, just make sure not to touch him, just kill him with your sword. Here we continue on our trend of just killing everything as we pass by it. Kill all of those bone snipers, whatever they're called. Here we don't kill that sword guy on the way up. We're gonna kill him on the way down because it just kind of helps work make sure that the Medusa heads are in a more reasonable spot for you to avoid them. If you accidentally kill a Medusa head, it doesn't affect your experience at all. So there's a little trick you can do here is once you enter this room, if you backdash, press right while in the air, or backdash, jump, and then press right. If you do it with the right timing, you'll fall through the floor there. It's not super important. If you're struggling with the clock rush and you happen to get this trick, it saves like 2 seconds. So if you get it, it's cool. If not, not a big deal. The reason we enter that room anyways is so that way the elevator is in this position once we reload this room, and that just makes it quick for us to walk over and grab the Soul of Wolf. So from here, we just take the elevator all the way down now that we have the wolf. It's important here, what we're gonna do is from this platform, you can transform into wolf, you're going to double tap left to start running, and then during the screen transition, you can buffer jump and then to the right. So you just press jump into the right during the screen transition, and you'll end up jumping up here. This is important because you want to break this pot open and grab this garnet. It's going to be useful for the run later on. And then from there, you just, we're going to be maneuvering back to the clock room from here. Now that we have Wolf, we have the means to dive kick, because once you untransform from any of Alucard's normal transformations, you get the ability to dive kick afterwards, and we're going to use that for a sequence break. Another thing that you can do with the Wolf is you could actually use it for movement. At this point in the clock rush, you've been shield dashing everywhere, so your hand might be a little tired. What you want to do is, after killing the third Diplo, transform into Wolf and then just use the Wolf movement from here. This might take some practice if you're not used to it, but pretty much just do what I'm doing here and you'll be fine. Here you bark and then jump while you're still on the stairs, and that gives you that weird jump. I messed this up. What you're supposed to do is you do what's known as like a... I guess it's just like a wolf high jump. I don't know what else to call it. But if you hold up and then jump as the wolf, you jump higher than you would normally. And you can do that while you're running. So if you run and then press up and jump, you can do that to potentially jump over this table. It's kind of random whether you get it or not, but you know. From there, you just keep moving as Wolf. You don't have to kill this Fleaman. You could just run, and most of the time he just jumps over you. And then from there, what you want to do is untransform above this candle and then dive kick on the candle here. If you happen to be here in under 8 minutes in game time, this will be closed, and then you just have to wait for it to open, and that's pretty much it. That door will be open on even minutes in the in-game time and closed on odd minutes. Okay, moving forward, you can do this room without killing any of these skeleton boomerang guys. You just count the amount of shield dashes you do before you jump. What I like to do is I do 6 shield dashes, like relatively quick, for this first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did them too slow. It's hard to count them out loud and actually show it off. So I won't be counting them out loud. So for this first section, I just do 6 back dashes and then jump. Then I do 5 for the rest of these. And if that doesn't work for you, if for whatever reason you're having a hard time getting through this room, like you keep running into the skeleton guys, what you can do is just like shield dash and then jump slash them at the end here. It overall costs you like a second to do it that way, but if it helps you get through this room consistently, then you can do that. Then from here, we just maneuver our way into the Coliseum. Okay, so once you're in the Coliseum, all you have to do is jump slash these guys and then make your way up into this room. This room, there's a couple different ways you can do the AI manipulation on the Blade Masters. Here, I'm going to show the fastest way to get through this room using AI manipulation. It looks like that. You can use jump slashes to start the Blade Master's AI to like slide under you. So if you're not comfortable using that strat, what you can do instead is just walk forward, and that causes the Blade Masters to jump over you. So you just walk and wait for them to jump, and then backdash to the room. It's about like half a second slower to a second slower to do that strat, so. Then from there, you just maneuver your way onto here, and then we're going to fight Minotaur and Werewolf. So what you're going to want to do is skip this cutscene as soon as possible, wait for Werewolf to spawn, and then just start slashing him. They're going to stand still as long as you skip the cutscene. So you start by killing Werewolf, and then you just move on to killing Minotaur, and that's it. And then there's going to be another cutscene that you skip, and then you exit the room. It's a pretty simple fight. If you just watch anybody do it, it's pretty simple to just watch and get down. Grab the Form of Mist, and then we're going to be backtracking through here because we're going to grab the Shield Rod. So what's important about this next room is we're going to be casting Soul Steal as soon as we enter the room. And Soul Steal, it's a kind of a finicky input, but just if you watch the input display, it should help you figure out exactly what you need to do there. So you enter the room. What I like to do is do left, right, and then quarter circle from back down, and then press right again. So this is what it looks like at full speed. Left, right, quarter circle, or half circle down, and then back to right. So you do that, and then the attack button afterwards. Once you cast Soul Seal and clear this area, all you have to do is backdash into this room, and you're going to get shot by one of the skeleton snipers. Once you land on the ground, you cancel the lag that you get for landing on the ground with a jump while holding left. So it's going to look like this. So you basically just jump as soon as you hit the floor. All you have to do from here is use your library card after collecting the shield rod, and then we move on to the library section. Okay, so from here, you can equip the potion now, because we're going to be doing the trick that requires the use of the potion. If you want some invincibility to make this trick a little easier, that's what the potion's for. Transform into the wolf and start making your way this way. There you go. That's what the book jump looks like when you do it properly. So here, let me explain it a little bit in depth now. So the reason we use the potion is that way we can have some invincibility on our dive kick. The actual dive kick hitbox isn't very big, and it's very easy to get hit out of it, especially because the book is like coming at you and trying to attack you. So the invincibility helps there. So you want to jump at the stairs because it lets you get to the stairs a little quicker, and then jump. And then once you're in about this position here, like my visual cue is halfway in between this pillar and this pillar, I like to jump, and as soon as I hit jump, then I start pressing left. So it's just jump and then left. That'll get you around up here into this area where you wait for the book to kind of get out of the bookshelf and then like start following you. So from here, what I like to do is I do Mist into Wolf to kind of give myself some time to react to what the book is going to be doing. So, and then I do another Mist into a dive kick. And then from there, it's pretty simple. This trick definitely is going to require some practice to figure it out. But the whole reason we do that is so we can grab the fairy card. And then we make our way back to the librarian. Okay, so from here, what you're going to want to do is open the menu, go down to relics, you hold down, and then equip the fairy card. Then you can press the menu button to cancel this menu. What you're going to want to do is wait for the fairy to start talking, and then backdash into the room. Then from there, you're able to skip this cutscene like normal, and it's going to open this menu here. Just close that menu again, go down to Sell Gem, open that menu. You can go down and hover over Garnet. Then from there, you need to equip the Garnet, close that menu, and then sell it. It's important that you only sell the Garnet once you have it equipped. So I should still have that Garnet equipped in my inventory, but now I have 255 extra ones. Because what happened is the game tried to sell the Garnet that you had equipped, so it took like one away from the 0 that you had in your inventory, which underflows to 255. Then from here, you just back out of this menu, and then go to the sell menu again, and now you have them able to be sold. There's two different ways that you can do this part of the menu. You could either manually press right each individual time, and if you do it fast enough, it does end up saving time. It just depends on how good you are at mashing, so if I were to do it, it would look something like this. Like, yeah, that was pretty slow. Or what you can do is you could just hold right if you aren't able to mash fast enough. If you are able to actually mash fast enough, it can save you up to like 2 seconds, so it's just something to keep in mind. Here, I think all you need to do is sell about E3. So, what is that? 515,000 worth of garnets. You sell that, and that gives you more than enough money for pretty much the rest of like everything that you're gonna buy here. It's important that you buy the Jewel of Open because it's required for later on in the run. buy a mana prism, you buy 1 Buffalo Star, 1 library card, and the duplicator, and that's it. So next you equip the duplicator and the shield rod. You can activate the shield rod spell here. It doesn't matter because we're going to be using the shield rod for the rest of the run. So now the duplicator will allow you to use the mana prisms as much as you want. You have the shield rod spell activated, and then we can just move on to the next area. I do more wolf movement moving on to the next area because it gives you the chance to do the little wolf to lesser demon movement. It's more advanced. I'm not going to explain it in this video, but I might explain it at some point later. From here, you can use the stopwatch and mana prisms to just get through this room without any problems. And once you use the shield rod to kill an enemy, you're invincible for a little while, so you can just use that to get through the area. Use the shield to kill a lesser demon, and then we're going to move forward from here. This movement, you're going to do a super jump as the wolf to mist through that gate, and then collect the bat relic. So you have 2 options for this section here. You can either attempt to do the floor clip method, which is significantly harder. It's very, very hard. I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you are already I wouldn't recommend doing the library floor clip until you get to a certain level of speed in this game. So once you become more confident and more close to the top level in this game, then you can start going for it. Realistically, it only saves 10 seconds. So if you just want to finish runs and work on the rest of the game, all you have to do is equip library card and teleport out. You re-equip the mana prism, you do a bat dash after using the mana prism so you have enough mana to make it through this next section. And then you can just wing smash through this area. This isn't the optimal way to do it, but all that matters is that you get through it. Cool. So that's the route you would be taking that way. If you decide to do library floor skip, you need to make your way over to this set of stairs over here. Here you're going to do the wolf auto dash, and that is done by performing a mist into the wolf while holding left against this little stair. It's a 7 or 8 frame gap between pressing mist and then wolf, and that'll allow you to just dash automatically while holding left. That's what that looks like. Then from here you're gonna map buffer the rest of the trick. So if you're not comfortable with map buffering, that's what's gonna make or break your ability to really do this trick. So map buffering is done by opening the map, and then you're going to close the map by pressing the menu button, and then press the map button again, quickly, one after another. And that's what that looks like. I think I did it by 1 frame. So if you press the menu button and then the map button within 1 frame, you're going to advance the game state by 1 frame. So it's important to get practicing pressing them back to back. So you do the wolf auto dash. This is what the good frame is going to look like. I'll post a link to a resource on a better explanation for this trick, but this is what the good frame looks like. You're going to see the wolf's mouth kind of biting into the stairs here. That's how you know you got the good jump frame. So all you have to do is hold jump and left on this frame, and then you're going to open the map again. And here I was 1 frame too late. The visual cue that you look for is this stair here and how visible it is. If you can see above this stair, that means you didn't get the trick. This is what the other good jump frame looks like. So the mouth is kind of like aligned with the edge of the stair here, so you can see the entirety of the stair as opposed to only seeing part of it because the wolf's mouth is in the way. This jump frame will work, but you only have one transform frame that'll work on this positioning. This frame will work if you got the good jump frame. You only see part of the stair at the top of the screen here. And then this untransformed frame will work for both versions, both possible jump frames. Once you see this frame, all you have to do is untransform and then unbuffer. I hold left during this. I don't think it matters whether you hold left or not, but I'm just still holding left from doing the trick. So you just untransform and you'll end up in the stairs. From here, all you have to do is transform into the bat and it'll zip you down to the floor. From here, you're able to wing smash over. If you start to run low on mana, what you have to do is transform into the wolf and then untransform, so then you have access to your mana prisms. Otherwise, you'll be in a state where you're stuck in the floor and you can't access your mana prisms, and Alucard just does this. So transforming into the wolf and untransforming gives you the ability to mana prism again and then start wing smashing some more. If, for any reason, you are transformed into the bat and you enter a screen transition, the screen's going to flash over and over again, and it's going to be really annoying and lose you a lot of time. So try to avoid like just going into the screen transition as bat. It looks like this. It's not fun for anybody. And the only way to get out of it is to just hold right until it eventually stops flashing. So I'm going to stop that. So from here, all you have to do is just wing smash and untransform before entering the elevator, and you're going to take the elevator up. You just kind of platform your way through. Here you can do a wing smash this way, mist bat to stop your momentum, and then wing smash again this way, and then do an upward wing smash this way. And then you make your way over to the clock tower. So clock tower movement is probably some of the hardest movement in the game if you try and optimize everything, but I'm going to be showing mostly like the fast, consistent way to get through this. There are better options technically, but they're very, very difficult to perform. So from here, all you have to do is, I like to use a mana prism, so that way I know I have enough MP going forward for this entire section. So mana prism into a bat dash and then wing smash. From here, I'm gonna use the stairs here to kind of like boost me upwards, and then I'm just gonna hold up for a while and perform more wing smashes. Here, let's show that off a little bit better. There we go. So there isn't like a great visual cue for where to be during this section, so you end up in this area here because you don't want to be too high up, because if you're too high up, then getting into this next room is a little bit slower. But the only visual cue that I kind of have is when I'm flying, you have these row of candles here. I make sure that those are near the very bottom of the screen while I'm flying, and that pretty much aligns you up here. So if they're just barely off screen, you're going to be at this height pretty much right here. Like, yeah, you can see like the tiny little flickering of the pixels down there, possibly. It's like, yeah, you may or may not be able to see that. It's like literally 1 pixel. But from there, you just wing smash over. You do a mist bat to enter this next area and then wing smash again. And then you start wing smashing down when you enter the next room, and then mana prism immediately, so that way the harpy doesn't hurt you. So from here, we're gonna make our way up here. You want to kind of align yourself horizontally with this beam in the background, so that way you're close enough to this harpy where you're going to damage boost off of it in just a second, but you're not going to get hit by it immediately. So you just hold up, and once you get to about this position here, like the harpy's going to do a full flip, Once you're here, all you have to do is hold left to get damage boosted onto this cog, and then you're gonna just jump in Mana Prism to get some MP or invincibility and MP. Transform into Bat and then Wing Smash into this next room. This next room has a lot of different ways you can get through it. Some of the easier ways consist of just Wing Smashing through here, doing a Mist Bat here, Wing Smash again. So you're gonna Mist Bat and then align yourself against this wall here. You just have to fly directly up and then Wing Smash into this next room. The reason you do that alignment is because if you don't have some sort of subpixel alignment by brushing against either this wall down here or up there or this wall down here, what ends up happening is you have a random chance to bonk going into this next room like that. There's like an invisible wall type thing. So you can align against here and then Wing Smash into this next room. And then what you also want to do before fighting Karasamon is you put yourself on the end of these stairs here, and you set yourself up to do a downward Wing Smash. So you Wing Smash and then immediately hold down afterwards, and then you enter the room pretty much immediately. Alternatively, some of the harder strategies involve skipping this section where you align against this wall, and you actually just Wing Smash all the way past it. So let me get these guys out of our way so I can show you some of the ways you can do that. The hardest way is to not Mist Bat here at all and actually just do one continuous Wing Smash chain from this room into the next section of this room. That's very hard and I won't be showing it off here. Alternatively, what you can do is if you were to like bonk against this wall and untransform, all you have to do is turn around and do one full backdash and then do a bat dash, and you're going to end up around here where the bat is kind of like at the corner of these cross swords here. From here, you just do 2 full upward Wing Smashes, and you do them pretty quickly. Like you do the second one pretty much immediately after crossing this area here. Because if you're not holding up the entire time you do this part of the Wing Smash, you won't clear it. Then from there, you're able to Mist Bat against this wall to align your subpixels, and then do the same movement from here. Those are like the 2 major ways to do the room. Oh, an important note. When you untransform, you can dive kick to get to the ground faster, but you're kind of like stuck in this like grounded state for a hot second. So in order to cancel that, all you have to do is pull up your shield. So what I like to do is dive kick and then press shield and then hold left. And that way I can kill Crossmon real fast. For this next section, we're going to be grabbing the Leap Stone. It's not too difficult to do. From here, what I like to do is you drop down through this like semi-solid platform. You do a Mist Bat in this area, and then you just do a couple Wing Smashes this direction. Once you reach this broken statue that's in the background here, you just start holding down if you did your Wing Smash chain correctly. And then you're going to end up around this area. You can just grab Leap Stone, and from here, if you have enough MP to make it back, you can just do a Mist Bat and then just start Wing Smashing from here. If you need to refill your MP for any reason, you can do a Mana Prism into a Dive Bat and then start Wing Smashing over. What's important here is next we enter this red door. Now that we have Dive Kick, we can actually Bat Kick through loading rooms, like CD rooms, and that's the fastest way to get through them. We open this teleporter up by just entering the room and then exiting it, because we're going to be coming back here later. But yeah, now that you have the Dive Kick, you're pretty much going to be using Dive Bats for a lot of your movement to start out Wing Smash chains, except for specific areas where it's better to do Bat Dashes. So this next room, there's 2 different ways that you can do this room, the easiest way is to just fall down onto the bell and then do a dive bat into the next room to start your wing smash chain. Or alternatively, nice. Let's just load the save state so these guys aren't in our way. Alternatively, what you can do is you can do a dive kick after using a mana prism very close to the ground here, and then cancel that dive kick immediately into transforming into bat, and it should look like this. And that gives you just enough invincibility to get past that skeleton halberd guy. From here, it's very simple to kill Hippogriff. All you have to do is bat dive into the room, go past him, and then just hold your shield out. And if you do it right, he won't even jump at all. Then from here, we just exit the room as fast as possible by doing another bat dive. Okay. From here, there's a trick we're going to be doing that starts in this room. So from here, you want to make your way over to this ledge right here. In fact, let me even just use the stopwatch so none of these guys get in my way. So this ledge, all you have to do is align yourself against it. You want to make sure that you align yourself against it and then stop pressing any directional buttons at all for when you do this next wing smash. Because if you accidentally press left or right, you aren't going to get the trick later on. So this setup is very important. So from here, if you hold the jump button when you do a wing smash, you actually don't move at all. So it's very important that you make sure you're holding jump before starting the wing smash. Here you just do 3 wing smashes to the left. You're going to enter this next room and make sure you have the heart refreshed equipped. So there's a couple different setups that people have come up with for this. The setup that I personally use and I think is the easiest is you can enter this room and make sure you're not pressing anything once you enter this room. That'll put you in the same position every single time. And then all you have to do is tap right, and then 2 frames later, you're going to be tapping the heart refresh button. And if you do it too late, what you want to do is make sure you just tap the button very quickly, so that way you're not holding it and using the heart refresh in this room. So you basically use the screen transition as like a buffer. This is what the frame is supposed to look like. You see the way Alucard's cape is like sticking out that way. That's what you're looking for. That's what it looks like right there. If you do it too quickly, it's gonna look like this. Just kidding, I got the right frame. And if you do the trick too quickly, it's gonna look like this. You're either going to see Alucard like not move at all, or you're going to see like a little bit of gold trim of his like cape thing down here of his jacket. So this is the frame you're looking for right here. Once you see that frame, you're going to hold backdash, and once you do, you're going to land on this bell. It's really important that once you're on this bell, you do a small jump in place and then start pressing right. If you just start pressing right, you won't have air control for this next section. And then from there, you can just make it into this save room here. The visual cue that I use is once I start seeing these trees right here, that's how I know I can dive kick into this next room. And it's as simple as that. This lets you skip the statue that's blocking your way in this room over here, because normally you can't enter Olrox quarters from this side, so this is just a glitch we use to get to this side of Olrox quarters, or get to Olrox quarters from this side of the castle. From there, you're just going to want to re-equip your mana prism, and this next section is... For this next section, you want to make sure you have the most amount of mana possible, so you're going to start by doing a mana prism before doing the bat dash. So you use your mana prism right before doing your dive bat, and that should help with the amount of mana you have going into this next section. If you keep the wing smash chain up, you can get through here without doing any extra mana prisms, so that's the fastest possible way to do it. It's important that you get a terrain boost off of these stairs here, so when you're wing smashing through this area, you're going to want to wing smash down and then wing smash off of those stairs, and you're going to start flying in this direction. If you keep that wing smash up, you're going to end up right around here. Just kidding. You end up right around here, and then from there you just wing smash over to this direction. And then you're going to start your fight with Olrox. Pretty much every boss fight is pretty simple. All you do is just use the Alucard shield to kill them as quick as possible. Starting this fight off, you can just dive kick into the room and then dive kick again, and then walk up to him with the shield. You don't want to walk too far or else he'll teleport away. You want to make sure that you stand still and hit him as much as possible. And then you just use the shield to kill Olrox again. I think you do more damage if you hit him in the head in general, so it might be slightly faster to aim for his head, but it doesn't really matter whether you hit his head or his body. Then coming up here, you're going to see this like pillar of light close in. As soon as it disappears, you can wing smash to the right and you'll be able to exit the room. Even though that it looks like the wall is still there, it's no longer solid, so you can leave the room. Okay. There we go. You missed bat up here. This next room, you just wing smash down a little bit to make sure that you can make it through this area. And then this next section, it's nothing too crazy. You just do a couple of wing smashes. It's important to note that for this next trick coming up, there's a possible like time save you can do here. You want to untransform around here. The visual cue I use is when the bat is over, aligned to the edge of this wall here, like the top part here. So I would untransform around here. That lets you land on this ledge here. From here, what you're going to want to do is backdash off this ledge, and while you're falling, hold down, and that puts you in this position here. From here, you're just going to want to transform into bat, and then do a wing smash to the left, and then untransform immediately. And if you did it right, you'll end up in the ceiling. So yeah, backdash off this ledge, hold down, transform, and then let go of holding down. Otherwise, you'll like press down and be in a different position than what you want. So very important, backdash, hold down, transform while letting go of down, and then from here you don't want to move at all, just do a wing smash and then untransform almost immediately. You're gonna see Alucard kind of like zip into the ceiling and then fall down. The fairy, as you saw, followed me down here. From here, all you have to do is wing smash to the right, so you need to transform back into bat, because out of bounds you're just normal Alucard. You're going to transform into bat and wing smash into the next room over. So you're going to be wing smashing in the floor over this way. And as soon as you see the screen transition to black, you're going to hold mist. And then once you see the screen pop back up, you're going to press bat immediately. So it's going to look like this. Like that. And then from there, you're able to do another wing smash to leave the room. If you mess that up, what's going to end up happening is it's going to look like this. So if you happen to go out of bounds, and mess the mist bat timing up, it's going to look like this. And you're just going to fly out the edge of that room. From there, you can just maneuver like forward. It doesn't like ruin the speedrun or anything like that. It's just a little bit slower because you still have to wait for the red door animation to open and close. But yeah. If you fail this trick, like let's say you don't get the ceiling zip, it's better to just move on and not try for it again. Because it doesn't save that much time. It saves like 5 or 6 seconds. Instead, what you can do is you put the bat into this position here, kind of aligned with this brown spot in the background, and you just do a downward wing smash from here, and then you just can shield dash through this area. Okay, so moving on, you want to wing smash and then untransform. You'll land on this pillar and jump off, and then do a double jump and transform into the bat to start flying up into this section. This is where we're going to find gravity boots, and they're very important to saving a lot of time later on in the run. Just wing smash to go grab them. and then wing smash out. This next section is very important as far as saving time goes. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're going to wing smash and make sure that you are kind of aligned with the bottom part of this pillar coming up right here. Because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to wing smash into it and untransform before bonking into it. So if you hear that bonk noise, you did it too late. If it sounds like that, then you're not in the right position. It's going to look like this. From here, you just hold the shield out to kill the table walking forward at you. And then from here, you're going to start the setup to do the floor clip into the caverns. So the setup is, if you did all of that correctly, you're going to backdash, do a full backdash and make sure you stop moving afterwards. You're going to transform into the wolf, and while you transform, you're going to hold left and then let go as soon as you see it turn around. So that way you're in this position here. And then you're going to double tap right to start running, and then you'll start map buffering the proper inputs. If, for whatever reason, let's say you need to reset the trick again, or you need to do a different setup, like you messed up the wing smash setup, all you have to do is jump against this pillar, do a full jump, and then like make sure you're not pressing anything so you fall straight down, and it's the same exact positioning, and then you can do the full backdash, transform, turn around, and then double tap to start running. Then from here, you're going to start map buffering, and you're looking for a specific frame. So this is one of the possible jump frames. My visual cue that I use is I look for the ear of the wolf and make sure that it's just visible, like 2 separate pixels here. Sometimes you'll see 3 pixels, depending on how quickly you jumped. And that'll determine your untransformed frame. Again, I'm gonna link more resources for this trick in the description. So, but yeah, so if it's just a bit of the ear poking out, being visible behind this pillar, then that's how you know you got a good jump frame. And then from there, my second visual cue is this second pillar, and I make sure that there is a gap, either a 1 pixel or 2 pixel gap between the pillar and the edge of the screen. If the pillar is getting cut off by the edge of the screen, then it's too early. And if you can see part of the table, any single pixel of the table up there, then that means you've missed the untransform window and it's too late. And that's what it looks like when you put it all together. So if you untransform on the right pixel, you'll end up in the stairs here, like under the floor. All you have to do is transform into the bat and then wing smash to the right to load in the next area. If you're playing on PlayStation, this is what it's going to look like. It's kind of jank. It looks really gross. This is what we're going to be seeing. Yeah, it's just a side effect of loading this area in with the previous room's tile set, because the game doesn't know how to load in this area's proper tile set because we loaded the room in wrong. So if you're playing on PlayStation, this is what you're gonna look at. If you're playing on Xbox, it actually loads the proper tile set, so it won't look like this. So I'll maneuver through this area while it looks like garbage, so that way the PlayStation players know what to look for. This guy underneath me is annoying. So from here, you're going to backdash off this ledge and then use a mana prism as you fall. So that way you're invincible and you can kill that guy. And then from here, you can just backdash back and forth. Once you get to this area, with this flat area right here, all you have to do is backdash off and then transform into the bat and then wing smash over. Get yourself into this next room, and then it's a bunch of wow, I don't even know how to maneuver this area in this garbled mess. All that matters is that you get to this room here. That's what's important. So this is what the area is going to look like if you play on the Xbox version, and this is what that movement is going to look like. There we go. All that matters is that you're mostly just doing shield dashes to make your way into this room, and that turns out to be the fastest form of moving through this area. And then we just enter this area so we can fight Succubus, the next boss. All you have to do is skip this cutscene as it pops up. And after skipping the cutscene, you wait for this animation, like late into her like unfolding herself after her jump, and that's when you'll jump and hold the shield out. Afterwards, it's important that you hold left before this cutscene ends, and it's gonna look like this. You hold left here, so that way you enter the cutscene, the second cutscene, a little bit faster. Otherwise, you have to walk back over to that area, and it just loses you like a second or something like that. Coming up here is some of the more cool movement that you get to do in the run, because now you get to put a lot of the relics that we've acquired together to do some cool movement. So from here, what you're going to want to do is transform into the bat and do a full wing smash upwards. You're going to untransform against the ceiling, which will give you the ability to do a double jump. So untransform and then double jump and then retransform again to wing smash into this next area, untransform, do a double jump into a gravity jump, cancel the gravity jump by transforming into the bat, do another wing smash this way, another gravity jump canceled this way, and then you can just wing smash out of this room. It's really cool, and this is what it looks like when you put it all together. And there you go. From here, you're going to want a mana prism on your way down, and you can equip the buffalo stars pretty quickly by just pressing left bumper and then right bumper, so L1, R1 in this menu, and you'll pretty much always be next to the buffalo stars. Equip those. You want to equip them at some point, either while you're falling down or right before the Cylla fight, so it doesn't really matter exactly when. I like to equip them now, just because there's not a lot going on in this section. All you're doing is falling. You want to kind of maneuver your way through here. If you wanted to do it quickly, you could like do something like that. But all that's important is that you enter the Cylla fight coming up right here. So the Cylla fight, you want to start this room off by dive kicking in. That activates the Cylla Worm's AI as fast as possible. And then you just double jump up and kill it with the shield. One tick of the shield is all that it takes. From here, you just kind of wing smash through this room. When you're in this room, all you have to do is do 2 wing smashes to the left very quickly. You're going to want to be kind of height level with Cylla here, because as you're falling down, you're going to throw buffalo stars. So it's going to look like this. She's going to die, and while she's dying and there's whole like explosions and stuff on the screen, you never want to pass like the left or the right portion of this pillar here. If you pass this part of the screen, you won't be able to do the Cylla skip properly. It's going to load the door in too early, and you won't be able to skip this area, leaving this area fast. So all you have to do from here is jump and transform, wait for the explosion, like all this fire, to start for like half a second-ish, and then you wing smash into the next room. Normally there's supposed to be a door blocking your way, like right off screen here, but because we like never loaded the door in, when we wing smash into that area during the explosion, it doesn't load the door for whatever reason. On this side of the room, all you have to do is make sure that you're against this floor here, and you're going to enter this room, and as soon as the screen goes dark, start holding left. And that's going to end you up on this side, and the reason you want to be on this side of the room is that way you can wing smash out immediately. Otherwise, if you were on this side of the room, it's full of water, and you'll untransform, and you'll have to like bat dash to leave here, and that's pretty much it. So let's say you mess up the Cylla skip. A common way to do that is by spawning the door by being too far forward. So if you go a little too far forward or way too far forward like that, the door is going to load in this way, and you won't be able to do the skip. So instead, you're just going to have to leave the way that you came. And it's a little bit slower. It wastes like 10 seconds. and it looks like that. From here, you're going to do a gravity jump up here, and then do a diagonal gravity jump and cancel with the bat. From here, you can do a downward wing smash, missed bat, and then do another normal wing smash, and then a gravity jump that way. That's one way to do it. You can skip that missed bat as well if you maneuver yourself well by doing a downward wing smash from this area and then holding up afterwards, and then that way you can do the diagonal gravity jump without untransforming. Before you do the diagonal gravity jump, though, it's important that you use a mana prism. Oh, I messed this up. It's important that you use a mana prism because you want to have enough mana to make it through this section. And the easiest way to do that is to do a mana prism before starting this section. So this section's a little tough. It's just a bunch of wing smash chains back to back. And then this next section, the height you're at is very important. Otherwise, you'll end up like terrain boosting in ways that you don't want. So if you find yourself zipping around, just missed bat to reset your positioning and then keep wing smashing. We're doing this so that way we can press this button here because we need that button pressed to maneuver into the caverns. It's also really important in this next room that you wing smash upwards against the ceiling here, so that way you don't kill the Donkey Kong skeleton over there. Here you can use the shield to kill all of the frogs that get in your way. It's important that you don't go too far to have the skeleton guy throw his barrel, and this is the positioning that you want to be in. I use the front of Alucard's toe, and I have it pretty much aligned with this seam in the terrain here, and that'll have him throw it very quickly. And then you can maneuver on into this next area. That's pretty much as far over as you can be, where it'll still break the bridge, and have him throw it as fast as possible. Abandoned Mine, nothing to say here really. You just fight Cerberus and then leave. You want to dive bat into the room and then untransform while holding your shield out, and then while the door is opening upwards, you can dive bat to squeeze your way out a little bit faster. This next section coming up, just a lot of shield dashing. Here I do one shield dash and then try and jump off of this while it's still in the air, so I can gain air control for this next section, where you just maneuver back down onto this area right down here. You fall down here, fall down some more. You can wing smash into this next area and then untransform to go to this door and then load the next area. Very simple movement, nothing too crazy here. This next section's a lot of wing smashing. You can untransform during the screen transition of this next room, like between these two rooms. So as soon as the screen goes black, untransform, and then I like to just mash the mana prism button so I have invincibility so that guy doesn't hit me. And then you can just retransform and start wing smashing away at this section. It's just a lot of straight wing smashes to the left. A great place to practice like wing smash chaining. Untransform going into this next room, and then once you untransform, you can just do a gravity jump, transform again, and then wing smash into this next room. From here, you can dive kick into the room. You want to do a mana prism before this guy spawns up, otherwise you get hit out like that. So if you use the mana prism at the right time, all you have to do is hold the shield out and crouch as this guy is spawning, and then you library card out immediately. Re-equip your mana prism, and then we're going to do the same movement that we did here earlier if you didn't do the library floor clip to leave this area. Here you will have like a little bit more movement or a little bit more mana since your level is higher. There we go. That's an example of like movement you can do to get through the library section quickly. Then from here, you do the same thing, just wing smash over. Enter the elevator. From here, now that we have Leapstone, you can actually do 2 front slides into this area. It's really swag. I recommend that everybody does it. If you don't do those 2 front slides, your run isn't valid. So. From here, we're going to be doing Richter Skip. So what you're going to want to do is double jump and then do a gravity jump diagonally. You're going to wing smash and then untransform pretty soon afterwards. And then you do a couple gravity jumps, and then your first 2 are straight up, and then the last one is going to be diagonal, and then you can cancel it while transforming into bat or whatever you need to get up onto this ledge. From here, you can use the shield to break this block here. It's really important that that block gets broken, otherwise the trick won't work. Then you can find yourself into this position, and again, I'm going to have more resources for how to do this trick in the description. This is the visual cue that I use. Alucard's back foot is kind of aligned up with the top of these stairs here. It's kind of flush with it. It makes like a straight line downwards. From there, I can transform into Wolf, and then what you do is you tap left twice, and then after the second time you tap left, you jump 1 frame afterwards. So that gives you a specific jump that looks like this. There we go. The jump has you not have any trails behind you as you're doing it, and the arc works out such that you enter this area without like triggering the proper loading zone. So you'll know you got the trick because the camera is going to follow you vertically through the section, and you could even see like the background through the stairs up there, which you're not supposed to see normally. What this room normally looks like if you load this area in normally is it won't follow you vertically, and it'll just be like a normal hallway type situation. But if you do the jump just right, you'll make it through. And once you see that you've made it through, you can transform into the bat and then do some wing smashes out this way. It's important that you cancel the cutscene as soon as possible after doing those wing smashes, otherwise you can soft lock. So if you're afraid of doing it that way, you can just enter the room normally and then skip the cutscene. It's a little bit slower, it loses like 5 seconds, but... Alright, so once you get into the second castle, everything from here is pretty straightforward. There's not really any more glitches or tricks except for the very end. Everything else is very much movement based, so... starting off here, you could either do a dive bat or a gravity bat to enter the next section. I prefer doing a gravity bat like this, and then just wing smashing forward. You want to make sure that you don't bonk into this wall here, so the height that you're at is going to be about here. The visual cue that I like to use is, hold on, basically just flying straight around here, and you want to be like level, like a little bit underneath this pot here, and if you do that right, you'll be fine. You won't bonk into the this part of the stairs here. You don't want to be too low either, otherwise you'll get the terrain boost from hitting that and then hit the stairs anyways. So alright, so this is what it looks like when you do that movement properly. You want to wing smash up into here. Ideally, you want your wing smash chain to end somewhere around here, so that way you can cancel it into a gravity jump up here. So you have to do a gravity jump and then transform right before hitting this semi-solid platform. Otherwise, you won't be able to make it through, and you'll just like get stuck like that. So you want to transform, fly above this semi-solid, because if you're underneath it, you'll just like... you get put in this state where if you untransform above a ceiling, you get your double jump back, but you can't gravity jump out of this state. So you want to be above it, cancel that gravity jump with a bat transformation, and then enter this area here. We're just opening this teleporter so we can use it later. Dive kick out of this area, and then you do a mist bat into a wing smash into this area here. Alternatively, what you could also do if you end up dive kicking a little too early. Let me try and show that off real quick. If you dive kick too early and just like land on this platform, you could just do another like dive kick into bat transformation over here. It's a little bit slower, but if you end up messing it up, that's one thing you can do. The boss fights pretty much are all gonna be the same as before. You just use your shield to kill him. For this boss, all you gotta do is, I like to dive kick into the arena to start the boss's AI as quick as possible, and then you just sit in the bottom left corner and hold your shield out, and he just dies. So like this. That's it. What I like to do to kind of time how I exit the room is, here, let me show you. So I do a set of backdashes like this. I do full backdashes. So I do 4 on each side, and if you do it quick enough, it pretty much lines up perfectly for you to exit the room afterwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I did it a little too fast there. Let's try one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that pretty much gives you like a timing for how to leave that room. There we go. In this next room, you just wing smash up to this point, wing smash again. And then it's really important that you do like a full wing smash up from this direction. There's 2 different ways that this is gonna go. Either you're going to wing smash and clear this little gap into the next room, like that, and then you'll be able to do a grav bat upwards. Or what will happen is, if you're too far over to the left when you start the wing smash, all that's going to happen is that you're going to bonk here, and then you can just do the same thing, grab bat into the next part of the screen. It's a little bit slower, but either way it's fine. So just wing smash up, grab bat, and then you can do 1 wing smash and then mist bat here. It's possible to clear this gap without the mist bat, but it's extremely hard. Do 2 more wing smashes, and then this next section, there's a couple different ways you can go about doing it. So you still have your stopwatch. If you still have your stopwatch at this point, which you should, because you need it for fighting Doppelganger 40, what you can do is you can do a wing smash up into this next room, untransform, and then use the stopwatch just to kind of like give you some consistency. You can, what I used to do is I would do a full wing smash all the way up, bonk against the wall, and then just mash up and X, so that way I can get the stopwatch out, as well as a mana prism to have some invincibility. And then from there, you just do a double jump, and then do 2 gravity jumps up, and 1 straight up, and then 1 diagonally up into the left. It's a little bit slower than the other strat. This strat has you wing smash into the room and then cancel the wing smash early. And then from there, you do 3 gravity jumps. 2 straight up and then 1 diagonal into the left. I don't like this strat a lot, especially if you're new to the category. Only because, as you saw there, I got 2 Medusa heads pretty much in the same exact spot. And if you're unlucky, you'll get hit by the Medusa head like that if you don't immediately mana prism. So, and that happens to me quite often. If you bonk your head on a ceiling after doing a gravity jump, the fastest way to get out of the that like animation where you're stuck on the ceiling is to do a double mist. So you just tap mist twice. You could also like angle it in the direction that you want to go. So like I can hold it left while doing so, and it gets me into this next room. I guess I could try and transform even earlier. Yeah, but then that happens. Anyways, so for this next room, I'm just going to pause using the stopwatch to show you the easy way to get through it. If you have your stopwatch available, you can use it here as well. But all you need to do is just fall through these platforms. Make it onto this platform right over here. You're gonna do a bat dive into this next area, and it's important that you wing smash and then start holding down. And if you're able to do another wing smash once you enter this next room, you can, and then you just do a couple upward wing smashes afterwards. If you aren't able to maneuver like a downward wing smash into an upward wing smash, you could just do a wing smash here, missed bat, and then just start doing upward wing smashes from here. If you ever drop a wing smash chain, an easy way to get back into it, especially in large rooms like this, is to, after you untransform, just do a diagonal grav bat and then start wing smashing again. But all you're going to be doing is wing smashing into this next room up here. Nothing too crazy. This next room is also pretty self-explanatory. It's just a bunch of wing smashes back and forth. Important thing to note is that you want to, whenever you do a missed bat, to do it pretty quick, so that way you don't lose MP when you do it. Because when you do a missed bat, there's a chance that you lose MP if you do it too slow. Like if you look at my MP bar, I'm doing somewhat slow missed bats, and sometimes I'll lose MP. And that's not good because the amount of MP you have isn't a whole lot. Well, it's a lot, but it's not enough necessarily to go through this section if you do too many of the slow missed bats. So once you get to this part here, you're going to want a mana prism, do a gravity jump, and then do a wing smash. So that way your MP comes back and you're at full MP at this section. So from here, you're just going to be doing just kind of like wing smashing back and forth. You can use the ceiling here to give yourself a terrain boost. And then all that matters is this second platform here with the skeleton bone guy. You want to do your wing smash here as soon as possible and not against the ceiling, just because this next room is where the boss is. And you can just do one full wing smash and you'll make it through. If you wait and go all the way to the ceiling, you're just losing a little bit of time. This boss fight, all you're going to want to do, you could just shield dash to get close to him if you want. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you're playing on PlayStation, this is definitely faster because it's going to save you time with as far as lag is concerned. But you're just going to dive bat into the room, untransform while holding shield. And then just walk into him. This is what I do. I'm pretty sure it's the fastest way to get through. Exit the room as fast as possible by just backdashing through it. From here, all I do is do a quick turnaround bat dash and then wing smash upwards. And you're pretty much going to untransform. If you just do one full wing smash, you're going to untransform against this ledge right here every time. And then from here, you just do a diagonal grav bat, wing smash into this next room. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing here is too difficult. Okay, next thing is for this section. It's a lot of straight wing smashing, but you're going to want to kind of wing smash towards the ceiling. If you're on PlayStation, you don't want to necessarily wing smash against the ceiling all the time because that can cause lag. I think in this room it's pretty fine. Yeah, it seems like doing it in this room is pretty fine. On Xbox, I just wing smash against the ceiling. So just mana prism and then wing smash against the ceiling as much as you'd like. The only caveat is that you need to start wing smashing down after a certain point. Because you want to, I didn't do it there, but you want to skip killing any of these skeletons, if possible. So I start like flying down after I see the second gold skeleton head. So that way I can make it into this next room. And from here, you can technically continue that wing smash chain downwards if you have enough momentum all the way into this next room. But usually around here is when your wing smash chain is going to end. You can dive kick and cancel it into the bat if you untransform somewhere up here. If you untransform somewhere around here, all you're going to want to do is just do a missed bat and then start wing smashing. From here, the visual cue that I have to untransform is right here. So once the bat passes this first red pillar here in the wing smash chain, that's when I untransform. Okay. So from here, if you untransform at that spot, you can just gravity jump straight up. If you're a little bit too early or too late, you can adjust it by doing a diagonal gravity jump. Like for example, if I'm a little too early, you can still go straight up. You'll just hit this ledge here, and then you can just missed bat and wing smash from there. Or alternatively, if you wing smash a little too late, you can do a diagonal gravity jump if you're in the right spot, up and to the left. But realistically, you're going to end up somewhere around here, and you'll just gravity jump straight up. You do 2 wing smashes against the terrain here to end up over here. And this next section is a lot of gravity jump canceling. So what you want to do here is do a bat dash from this position. And when you do the bat dash, something you can do is hold up while you're doing it. This gives you a visual cue for when you gain control after the bat dash, because during the transformation you don't have any real control over your movement. You're just like riding the momentum from the back dash. So you can hold up, and then once you see your stuff start to fly up a little bit, that's when you can untransform. That also helps you because you're a little bit farther off the ground when you untransform, so it gives you a larger window to start the gravity jump that you want to do here, because you're going to do a diagonal gravity jump to the left, and then you're going to want to cancel it. A mechanic that I should mention right now about gravity jump canceling is if you untransform and then try and transform immediately afterwards, there's like a lockout window. So if you try to untransform, gravity jump, and then transform immediately, there's like a half second where you have to wait. So what you're going to want to do here is slightly delay the gravity jump. Not by a whole lot, but like just a tiny bit, so that way you can still get the gravity jump, and that gives you a chance to actually cancel the gravity jump into bat properly. Otherwise, the window is extremely tight to get this to work. So just by flying up and then delaying it a little bit, it gives you a chance to do it pretty easily. And then you do the same thing again here. Except this time, you start by wing smashing into this corner, untransforming, and then doing the gravity jump. If you end up bonking at any point during your gravity jumps, it's not the end of the world, it just loses you a little bit of time. Then from here, you're going to wing smash up and then untransform against this wall. You don't really want to bonk whenever you can. If you can avoid bonking against a wall, it's better, because the bonk animation is slower than just untransforming. Then you're going to do an upward into the left gravity jump, but you're going to cancel it by doing a quick mist. So you'll just double tap and mist. I'll double tap and hold up when I do it. Like, or up and to the left depending on where I am in the gravity jump. But essentially what you want to do is cancel it, so that way you're in the middle here. I use the like window in the background as a visual cue. You don't want the center of the bat to be too far to the right or too far to the left. You basically want to be dead center as close as possible. This is fine, and if I was like this far over, I think this would be fine as well. It might be a little too far to the left. Yeah, I think I'm too far to the left. The reason why you want to be in a very specific spot is because you're going to keep gravity jumping upwards. Yeah, I was just barely able to clear that area. If I was any farther to the left, I would hit my head on this section, and if I was any farther to the right, I would hit my head on this section. Because you want to do, I believe it's 9 gravity jumps after doing the mist, and then you do a diagonal one to enter the doppelganger fight. So it should look like this. Yeah, you just do the last one as a grab bat to cancel it and enter this area. This fight... Alright, so the strat for fighting this next boss is you're going to walk up to Doppelganger and Mana Prism right before his AI activates, and that's going to cause him to slash his sword at you. All you have to do at that point is press up and then whatever button you have mapped to your shield. So just up and that button, it's going to automatically use the stopwatch, and then your shield will just kill him. So it's going to look like this. Alternatively, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, what you can do is just wait for his AI to start, and then just start the stopwatch, walk over, and kill him. You lose a little bit of time by having to wait, but if you don't feel comfortable like getting up in his face and mana prisming, but yeah. So from here, you want to jump off and then kind of maneuver your way down. It's kind of tricky since the space is pretty tight, but you would want to do something along the lines of that. So jump to the right, hold left, hold right, and then you're going to dive bat into this next room and then wing smash upwards. You want to try to avoid killing those skeletons if you can, but if you kill them, it's not the end of the world. Same with these rock knights here. You don't want to kill them if you don't have to. So you kind of want to fly above them, but it can be kind of hard, as you just saw there. But for the most part, if you're not worried about like gaining a bunch of extra level ups, then, you know, go ahead and kill them. If it makes things more consistent for you. So, but the main point is you just fly through this area and then untransform right before the screen transition, so that way you can untransform and then gravity jump up into this next area. This next section, actually, I'm going to start from here. So for this next section, if you don't feel comfortable doing the frame perfect bat dash from this ledge, so you'd have to press left and then bat dash one frame after. And if you don't, you enter the door like that. So that's what it looks like if you do it right. If you don't feel comfortable going for that, what you can do is just walk off the ledge, shield dash into about this place here. You're gonna want to do it quickly, otherwise like Gaivon's gonna come after you. But basically, if you get Alucard somewhere along the edge here of this pillar in the background, you're fine. All you have to do is gravity jump from here, do a double jump real quick, and then another gravity jump, and then you're just gonna wing smash into this next area. However you decide to get there is fine. Alternatively, you could also walk off the ledge, do a bat dash, and then do a tiny jut forward afterwards, and then just do two wing smashes. All of those are around the same. It's a little faster to do the frame perfect input, but it's not the end of the world if you don't end up doing it. So the death fight. This fight is pretty random if you end up killing him as fast as possible. You can go for a quick kill on him, which I'll try and show off here. It's kind of random whether you get it or not, but all you do is you dive bat into the room and then skip the cutscene immediately. And then the way he like floats above you is going to determine whether or not you get the quick kill or not. There you go. That's what the quick kill is supposed to look like. Oh. You basically kill him without him running away at all. There you go. And that's what it looks like when you get the quick kill. It's kind of random because the way that death moves, like after skipping the cutscene, is kind of random. But you basically just want to follow him with the shield. And that's it. If you get the quick kill, great. If you don't, whatever. You just exit this area by waiting for the door to start opening and then dive bat out because the bat's hitbox is a little bit smaller. So it allows you to squeeze through that gap. So in order to do this the easy way, I recommend using the stopwatch in this section. So I just hold up and then start shield dashing into position. Gravity jump up and to the right, wing smash to the left, gravity jump again, gravity jump again. From here, you can either mist, do like a quick mist, or the safer option would be to mist bat, align the bat against this wall here, untransform, and then do a grab bat, or yeah, grab bat straight up. That gets you into the next room relatively safely and pretty quickly. So you do a bat dash from here into a grab bat, wing smash, grab bat. You grab, jump from there into a double mist against this pillar. So the main difference is you're going to be doing the gravity jump from down here, which is pretty much immediately. So once you untransform from this wing smash here and do this grab bat, you just untransform immediately into the next gravity jump, into the double mist, which will untransform you faster than doing a mist bat into untransform. And you can align against this ledge right here as opposed to aligning against this ledge. It's a little bit faster, but quite a bit more difficult to perform. But yeah. So starting this next room, you just maneuver your way onto this platform. You just want to tap left, like for like maybe a frame. You want to let go immediately, because the hitbox of this fucking plant thing here is always gonna be in your way. So you don't want to be too far over. So you just kind of want to like make it barely onto this ledge, but far enough over that when you do the gravity jump, you don't actually bonk against here. It's pretty tight. You can, realistically, like barely make it onto the ledge, do a mana prism, and then align yourself up to get this gravity jump if you need to. But what you want to do, since it's the faster way, is to untransform, and because you're still invincible while you're untransforming, you can do a gravity jump and like maintain your invincibility pretty much the whole time if you do it with the right timing. Something like that. It's also spacing dependent, so you just want to like barely make your way in there and then do a gravity jump. And then you cancel the first gravity jump into a second gravity jump diagonally. Transform into bat, untransform, another diagonal gravity jump, transform into bat, and then wing smash into this next room, and then cancel wing smash pretty early on. I like to do it right before the screen transition here. If you do it during the screen transition, like if you buffer it during the screen transition, you end up here, which is a little too far over, because you're just going to want to gravity jump into this next room and wing smash into the next area. All right. This next section is pretty tough as well, at least at the start, and then afterwards you're just doing a bunch of like wing smash chains over and over again. So from here, you can mana prism into a bat dash, cancel that into another gravity bat, but you want to do it pretty quickly, so that way you don't bonk against the ceiling there. You'll end up around here, and then from here you could just fly up and just start wing smashing to the left. So once you start that next room, it's going to be about 3 wing smashes, and you just let the third one play out. So you let the third wing smash play out in full, so 1, 2, 3. You can cancel it a little early too if you'd like, because essentially you want to end up around here. Anywhere from like using this as like your visual cue, you want Alucard to end up anywhere from like here to like here-ish. Like here will be fine when you untransform, because you're going to do another gravity jump diagonally from this untransformation spot to start going into the next area. And if you do it right, you should have enough MP to make it through this entire section without needing to stop and do another Mana Prism or anything like that, so... So starting off this next section, it's just a bunch of straight wing smashes. You can attempt to fly under these frozen halves if you are very good at maneuvering your wing smashes, but I even have like a hard time like dealing with them. So even I have a hard time dealing with the frozen halves. So a lot of the time I just end up killing them. If you're playing on PlayStation, every time you kill one, it's going to cause a massive amount of lag. So that's why it's really important to skip them if you're playing on PlayStation. This last one's very easy to skip, however. So once you're set up doing a bunch of straight wing smashes throughout the area, once you enter this area here, you can just start wing smashing upwards and hold that angle, because you'll never hit this frozen half if you're wing smashing and do the upwards, because you get this terrain boost that skips under her like that. And then you can just untransform into this next area here, fall down, wing smash into the next area, and then you'll be fighting Galamoth. So, Galamoth fight. There's not too much to say here. If you are new to the game, I recommend... So the easy way to do this fight would be to definitely use a Mana Prism to get close, and then start using your shield to just kill him. It's decently fast. Galamoth has a lot of HP, so Galamoth has a lot of HP, and he actually takes more damage if you hit him in the head. So what you can do is dive kick off of him to get closer to his head, like this, and he dies about like 2 seconds faster that way. So during the whole time you have your shield held out, all you have to do is just press down and then double jump. So that way you're keeping the shield as close to his head as possible, and then just dive kick periodically to keep the right amount of height. It takes practice, but it's not too bad. So from here, after killing Galamoth, wing smash slightly upwards and then untransform against that ledge. That gets you lined up to do a gravity jump into transforming into Bat, and then from here, you're just going to be wing smashing pretty much straight back. Wow, the lag killed my wing smash there. But yeah, pretty much just doing straight wing smash chains. If you drop them, just start them up as fast as you can. Once you enter this skeleton hallway, though, you're going to want to start pulling your wing smash downwards. So that way you can clear this section here. If you're wing smashing straight, you can end up untransforming into these bats here. They will damage boost you in kind of in the right direction, so it's not the end of the world. But realistically, the best option is to wing smash down and then start wing smashing over back the way that you came. From here, you're just going to shield dash. What I like to do for this section is I shield dash off and then hold left. As I'm falling, I cancel this landing lag that I have here by pressing the shield button real quick, and then I'll immediately walk off since I'm still holding left. Here, I Mana Prism, so that way I don't have to deal with like getting hurt by these guys. So right now it's looks like this, and then you can just kind of make your way down to this section here. And from here, you can just dive kick into this next room and then cancel it into the bat and then wing smash over. It's one of the more awkward rooms to maneuver through, but it's not too bad. Here, I just dive kick into the room and then jump up to start this teleporter. And then from here, you can front slide in. That's what I like to do. But just make your way out of the teleporter. From here, it's more just straight wing smash chains. You want to avoid wing smashing against the terrain here, because what will happen is you do these little zigzags, and they actually aren't as fast as just wing smashing straight. So try and keep straight wing smashes the entire time if you can. And then just make it into this next room. From here, you can do a bat dash into an untransform into a diagonal grab bat like this, and then start wing smashing over. And that'll get you into the Medusa fight. Medusa, she's invincible for a certain amount of time until her like AI is fully activated and her hitbox appears. So all that matters is that you start her AI as fast as possible. So one way you can do that is by just dive batting into the room and then holding your shield out. And that pretty much will guarantee that you're killing her as soon as possible. And then you just leave the room as soon as that's over. From here, you can do another bat dash. If you do it right, this guy won't hit you. You can even Mana Prison through him if you need to. The Black Panthers do a decent amount of damage, but you're high enough level where it won't really matter. From here, you don't want to do full upward wing smashes, because if you do, you'll end up clearing this area and you'll end up here. What you want to do is you want to wing smash pretty much straight until the very end of the hallway and then start wing smashing up. So that way you end up against this little platform here when you untransform. So that way you can do a diagonal grab bat into the next room. And this is what that's going to look like. Just like that. And then you do the same thing for this next room. It's just that the hallway is a little bit longer. Do another gravity jump this way, up twice, and then to the left once, and then wing smash. Pretty straightforward stuff. From here, it's more just wing smashing to the left. The only thing is that you want to wing smash against this little stair piece here, because it's going to give you a terrain boost downwards into this next section, so you'll have some downward momentum going in. From here, I just start holding down, and then I untransform kind of like in the middle of the room. You want to untransform such that you fall and like clear this little gap here, and then you just make your way on over this way. So the Akmadon fight, you just want to start his AI as fast as possible, much like everyone else. So just dive kick into the room. Oops, that's what happens if you're not invincible. He'll throw you. So dive kick into the room. You can use a Mana Prism and then just get close with the shield. That's pretty much it. If you're too far forward, you'll miss because his hitbox is pretty thin. So there's a visual cue I like to use when leaving this room is I look at, there's like a little diagonal black line like on Akmadon's like ankle. Once that starts to disappear, I leave his ankle basically like the only thing showing on the right edge of the screen. Once that starts to disappear, that's when I start to leave the room with a dive bat. So I just wait for it to start disappearing and then dive bat out. And you'll have enough momentum to clear that area pretty quickly. Yeah, from here, you're just going to be doing some wing smashes to the left. You can start wing smashing up and then cancel it, so that way you can go back the way that you came. Just 3 diagonal gravity jumps is all you're going to need. And then just some straight wing smashing to this next door. Okay. From here, it is very important if you're playing on PlayStation to eliminate some of the lag that's going to happen here. You need to use your stopwatch again. I'll show what it looks like if you don't use your stopwatch, and then I'll show the difference with the stopwatch. You don't have to use the stopwatch if you're playing on 360, but I guess if you want to have some consistency where the imps aren't like grabbing you if you mess up your movement, this could also help. But this is what the movement looks like. You dive bat in, wing smash into a missed bat, wing smash, missed bat. You can see that the lag is a lot. Oh my god. I'm having trouble wing smashing too. This is what happens if you mess up. imps just start grabbing you, and it's a bad time, and you waste a lot of time just killing them. But yeah, that's real bad. So to avoid that, just use the stopwatch. You have far less lag. It's still there, but it's quite a bit less. There you just do 2 wing smashes, cancel the wing smash, and then do a diagonal gravity jump, and then you cancel the gravity jumps lag by hitting this, like when you would hit the ceiling. So instead of hitting the ceiling like that, you just cancel it by misting. And then we're on to this next section. So pretty much the first thing that you do when you enter this area is you just mist bat and then start wing smashing to the left. And then you do an upward wing smash after the second one. Then you'll end up in here. This is like a very similar situation with most of the other bosses. You just dive kick and you dive bat into the area to start the AI as fast as possible. This fight, you want to set yourself up here on the left side. From here, you use a stopwatch and a mana prism from the start of this fight. And then you basically are just going to sweep the area from left to right while holding your shield out. Sometimes you don't kill them all in one go, and you just have to like jump back up to kill them, but in general the fight's going to look something like this. And then you just dive kick out as soon as you kill the fake Cypha. From here, just mist bat and then start wing smashing upwards. You can keep doing upward wing smashes so that way you can land on this ledge here, as opposed to if you stop doing upward wing smashes, the terrain boost will have you bonk against this wall here, and then you have to jump up. Just a small little optimization. From here, to start this next section, this is one of the sections that has a pretty big difference between if you're playing on PlayStation versus if you're playing on Xbox due to lag. Here you can do the frame perfect like turnaround backdash thing if you are, you know, consistent with that, something like that. Or you can alternatively do a dive back kick into this next section, or what I like to do most of the time just for consistency's sake is I'll just like walk off and then do a bat dash here. But all that matters is that however you decide to do it, you just start wing smashing into this next section. From here, if you're playing on emulator, what you want to do is not fly all the way straight up into the ceiling and wing smash against the ceiling, because you're going to see that the game starts lagging quite a bit when you do that. For whatever reason, I think the game adds like extra collision sparks or something like that when you're wing smashing against the ceiling. Like you see that there's dust falling from the ceiling. That dust effect adds like a lot of lag in certain areas. Certain areas it doesn't add anything, but because there's so many enemies on the screen, to minimize the amount of lag you do, you just do upward wing smashes the entire time without touching the ceiling. And it should look something like that. I don't know a good visual cue for when to untransform using that strat since I play on Xbox, but the goal, however, is to untransform somewhere around here, so you can just do a diagonal gravity jump and then make it to this area. If you are playing on Xbox, however, I'll try and show my visual cue off. Let me just kill these guys real quick. I did not know those guys weren't affected by the stopwatch. Yeah, some enemies just don't care about the stopwatch. Like they're immune to it or whatever. Okay. So the visual cue I use is while I'm wing smashing against the ceiling, eventually you're going to see this gray part. It's going to come into view in your top right. As soon as I see it, I wait just like a split second, like I delay just a tiny bit, and then I untransform. So I basically am just waiting to see that, and then I untransform. Even there, I reacted to it, and I just reacted a little too just a small delay, so that way you end up just barely past this section here. Just like that. You'd end up right there, same spot you want to be in, diagonal gravity jump, and then make it that way. If, for whatever reason, you aren't able to do that, an alternative strat you can do is wing smash up into this next room while holding up the entire time. So it's gonna look like that. You can mist bat into this next room and then just wing smash along the ceiling. It's gonna lose you like a second, but it's more consistent if you're having trouble getting the untransform timing in that next room, because it can be pretty difficult. From here, you just do a bat dash, wing smash, cancel it. Here is the only blue door that we walk through in this category. This is what you need the Jewel of Open for. If you forgot to buy the Jewel of Open, you cannot get past this door, and the run is pretty much over. So that's why we get Jewel of Open. Funny thing about these doors is you are able to buffer the input that you use while going through it. So we use that to buffer a bat transformation. So all you have to do is hold the bat button and you'll transform immediately. Then you're going to do a wing smash and untransform at this stained glass window right here. So as soon as you're passing the stained glass window, you're good to untransform. So that will let you like dive kick sooner and start falling sooner into this next room. From here, you would just cancel it into like a mist bat or something and then wing smash into this next area. Now this boss fight, there's two ways you can do it. The slow way, which has you wing smash here, do a gravity jump, mana prism, and then hold the shield out, and then double jump. That's the old way we used to fight Beelzebub here, but now, this is very laggy on PSX to do it that way. So if you're playing on PlayStation, I highly recommend learning this strategy, which is you do a full wing smash upwards, and right around here, like as soon as you pass this this piece of this platform here, you can untransform and then hold the shield out. I did it a little too early there. So pass the platform, untransform, hold the shield out the entire time, and as soon as you start falling a little bit, you just dive kick to keep your positioning. And this saves you a lot of time on lag alone if you're playing on PlayStation. It definitely requires practice to get the timing right, though, for when to untransform. That's pretty much the only hard part. And also make sure your shield is facing the right way. There you go. And then from there, you can just get on out of here. I just backdash against this wall because it takes a little while for Beelzebub to die. Then from here, the movement's pretty straightforward. You want to wing smash basically while being against the floor here, because that's going to force you to pretty much bonk here. You don't want to necessarily bonk. You can untransform before hitting this. You can dive kick afterwards. If you're not comfortable timing a mist bat to start wing smashing as fast as possible into this next section, you can just land on the ground and then do a dive bat afterwards. But the fastest way to do it would be to mist bat. Oops, did it too early. Columns there are here. Mist bat and then start wing smashing over. Here you can just wing smash upwards or straight, it doesn't really matter, because you're going to cancel your wing smash in this next room into a gravity jump. I cancel the gravity jump with a mist bat, so that way I don't fly too far forward, and it lets me wing smash faster, so. Mist bat, wing smash. From here, there's a couple different ways to enter this next room, but the easiest way to do it, and that's pretty fast, is just backdash off this ledge, mist bat, and then wing smash against the door. Okay, from here we are coming up on the only glitch in the second castle. Here you can just dive bat into this room. If you do it right, you won't get hit by that skeleton dude. You have to do it pretty quickly. There you go. Then we're just going to wing smash to the left a little bit. Around here, you want to start holding up because you're going to mist bat against this pillar right here. It's really important that you mist bat and then align yourself against this pillar. This will make this trick easier. It basically turns this trick from being a 1-frame window into being a 2-frame window. But from here, fly straight upwards without pressing left or right. Do a wing smash, but then cancel it pretty quickly afterwards because you're going to walk into a visual, like this position right about here-ish, maybe a little farther over. The visual cue I like to use is Alucard's head is a little square at the end. It goes straight down, and there is this darker line in the background right here that I use as a visual cue. So if Alucard's head is kind of like right up against that darker line, you could even see his hair kind of like move forward and move back. If it's if that gray part of his hair is covering the line while it's moving, then you're pretty much in the right position. And then from there, it's you just tap right and use a heart refresh at the same time. It's a 1-frame gap though, so it's tap right and then heart refresh 1 frame after. Like that. You want to buffer backdash during that screen freeze, but yeah, you'll see the tip of Alucard's foot essentially is going to be right here during the trick. It's going to be aligned with this black line here. That's how you know you did it right. So I'll show it off again. So it doesn't really matter where your starting position is, so long as you pressing to the right and then pressing the heart refresh happens. And when you do that, as long as Alucard's foot is either between this line and this line, so, oh god, messed that up. So it's going to be between this line and this darker gray line and this black line, so somewhere in this like white section here. If the tip of Alucard's foot is in here, you're pretty much good. Like, the trick should work. But you hold backdash, you walk against this wall here to align your subpixels, so that way you're guaranteed for the trick to work. Do a jump onto this ledge, and from here, it's pretty important. It's very important that you walk into this next room, and then you wait until you see the save room. It's going to flash once, and then the screen's going to go dark. During the save room flash, you're going to buffer the bat transformation. Don't buffer the bat transformation during this first screen flash, or when the screen first turns black, for the screen transition. If you do, you're going to fall into the ceiling. It's going to look like this. There you go. So if you buffer the bat too early, you end up zipping down into the floor here, so the trick just won't work, and you'll have to set it up again. So here I'm going to wait for the screen flash, and then you buffer the transformation. From here, you can do 6 or 7 wing smashes to the left, depending on how fast you do them. So, oh, that's what happens if you drop your wing smash chain. You'll just fall out of the ceiling. If you want a setup that always puts you in the right position, what you can do is walk against this wall here, do 2 full backdashes, transform into wolf, turn around during the transformation, and then tap left to turn around once. And then from this position, you just tap right and heart refresh immediately. And the trick will pretty much always work. I think it gives you a 2-frame window to do it. Dude. So if you don't get enough wing smashes, you'll enter this save room from the bottom right corner of the map, but it's trying to push you back down into the ceiling, but then keeps loading the room over and over again. If this ever happens, you just want to mash jump to try and get out of the floor as fast as possible. But it's just going to keep screen flashing over and over again. And then you'll eventually make it back into this area. There we go. So you do your 6 wing smashes, and you'll... Wow, those two... So that's what happens when you do too many wing smashes. Wow, I messed that up. So you do your 6 wing smashes, or 7, and then from there, you end up in this area here. You don't want to actually save the game. It's not worth it. But from here, you could either wing smash into this next area, and then once you're about here, you can transform into the wolf while holding up, and it'll just start the elevator immediately. It's pretty cool. I think it's like a 2-frame window to do it, so it's pretty tough, but it saves a little bit of time. Alternatively, what I like to do is I just do a dive bat and then fly up into the right position, and then I just confirm that, like, oh, this is the right position. Okay, while I'm holding up, I just transform into bat, or into wolf, I mean. And it starts the elevator up. From here, this is pretty much the end of the game. You can just do some shield dashing to get against this wall, or just to get out of the elevator area. You can do a grounded gravity jump into a diagonal gravity jump. Here I missed bat, so I can wing smash and get like the full momentum upwards. And here it's important that when you wing smash to get into this next section, you want to cancel the wing smash before falling down the hole here, because I will show you that if you wing smash into this next area and just fall down, Alucard does this really slow landing animation right there, whereas if you just walk down here, the landing animation isn't as slow. Alternatively, I'll try and show this off, but I don't think it's possible. If you land exactly in the middle, you have no land animation at all, which I have never been able to do ever. I don't think I've ever even seen it. Maybe, oh, I think you have to wing smash downwards too in order for it to work. Something, I don't know. Anyways, not important. You just start this fight, skip the cutscene. All you do is just jump and hold your shield out. Double jump when he starts to fly upwards, he dies immediately. From here, you can pretty much just like mash the star button to skip this next cutscene. Then from here, all you're gonna do is just kill the dude. Gravity jump to start killing him as fast as possible, because he's gonna fly in from the screen. As soon as he says form, that could be like your cue to start gravity jumping. Wow, dude, I actually fucking ran out of the spell. Awkward. That'll happen if you hold the shield out too long. And because I'm doing this in a tutorial, it actually held the shield out for too long. Wow. Anyways. You won't run out in a normal speedrun. But that's it. That's the whole game. That's the whole speedrun.
How is it that I've been so defeated?
Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps. Yeah, that's pretty much it.